Member of Parliamentary Finance, the failure of the 2025 budget tables to reach Parliament is hindering the work of spending. Quote. Member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee, Jamal Khojar, confirmed that the 2025 budget schedules have not yet reached Parliament. They showed several individuals that were busted in the new system trying to launder money, but they can't now with this new system. Security and stability was the number one thing that was needed in order to release the new exchange rate. That's why it's exciting right now. Kurdistan Council of Ministers confirm its aspirations to resume the nation's oil exports as soon as possible. This is big, and they are talking of resuming them in the month of February. This may be one of the big keys we have been waiting for. Another major step to fully globalizing Iraq is in the article titled, Iraq Moves Towards Globalization. Implementation of International Accounting Standards begins in 2026. In my eyes, this is not going to trigger the RV, but is certainly a right step in the direction we want. Remember, the CBI told us that January is the most optimistic to revalue the dinar with any substantial change in value. It is because of the accounting practices, and it is most convenient to begin a new fiscal year clean with a new rate. Remember, we may be already into February, but we know they just passed the amendment to the budget law, and so they have not yet even opened the 2025 budget. So there still can be a rate change coming. Trump and Sadani, that combination emo is unstoppable for your monetary reform. I dare them to try to stop this now, because Trump is there now. Why do I say such a thing? Because both sides have a currency that needs help form each other. This mutual symbiotic relationship is going to be so powerful in the banking industry. Both the American dollar and the Iraqi dinar are about to rule. Official denial and popular fears. The spread of the counterfeit Iraqi dinar causes panic among citizens and traders. The oil to flow into Turkey hasn't been done yet, and the salaries to the citizens haven't been paid. All of these things need value. What rate are you going to be able to pay those salaries at? What value are you going to apply to the exchange rate with oil crossing international borders? Kuwait RV, March 24, 1991. Ramadan that year was March 17, April 15, 1991, therefore they RV smack in the middle of Ramadan. Mr. Sammy says the United States of America Federal Reserve and the Treasury praised Iraq. Sadani, banks, CBI, on our cash distribution system that we have in place now. They say it's the fastest in the world. Why would we need something so fast and advanced for 1310? Frank, it was the U.S. Treasury that established the Cash Distribution Center. I believe we're going to see the new exchange rate soon. This system is in order to facilitate the distribution of the lower notes that are soon to be coming out. This monetary reform is well organized. I know a couple people involved in the upper levels of groups that recently traveled to be in place. They say they are working hard but won't say on what. We continue to hear this as an absolute priority for Trump. We hope that is accurate and we are off the stuck spot. One member of the Singapore Investment Group has been in San Francisco since Sunday. I finally got an opportunity to speak with her for an extended amount of time. She filled me in on some of the details. The Iraqis have proven to be less than attentive students. Learning is going slowly, with some of the principals being resistant to the global methods and technical operations. She is getting these reports directly from one of the consulting group members, but would not say which one. Could be Wyman or K2. This may take a little time. Realize, an entire generation has passed, so the youth have never known efficiency or the sense of urgency, nor have they ever had purchasing power for the worthless currency. It is a sad situation to say the least. Meanwhile, we wait. Sistani's office expects the beginning and end of Ramadan without completing the waiting period. Quote, the office expected that the month of Ramadan would begin on Sunday, the 2nd of March, and end on the 30th of the same month. Justice publishes personal status laws, general amnesty and return of properties to their owners in the official gazette. New U.S. sanctions shake Iraqi banking sector, ban use of payment cards abroad, lies. Be careful what you read. Article. al-Nusayri, no sanctions on Iraqi banks, and false reports cause panic, setting the record straight on the monetary reform of Iraq. You know very well that we're very close, and you know very well when you're very close they're going to try to hide, distract, over the truth. It's not a coincidence that their government and our government is a mirror image. It's not a coincidence. Reuters revealed, on Friday, details of U.S. pressure exerted by the administration of President Donald Trump on the Iraqi government, in order to expedite the resumption of the export of oil from the Kurdistan region via the Turkish Ceyhan pipeline, or face economic sanctions as is happening with Iran. Reuters quoted 8 sources in Baghdad, Washington and Erbil, who have direct knowledge of the issue, as saying that increasing pressure from the new U.S. administration was a major driver behind the Iraqi oil minister's announcement last Monday that exports from the region would resume next week. A quick resumption of exports from Iraq's semi-autonomous Kurdistan region would help offset a potential drop in Iranian oil exports, which Washington has pledged to cut to zero as part of Trump's maximum pressure campaign against Tehran. The oil flow would mark the end of a nearly 2-year conflict that has cut off more than 300,000 barrels per day of the region's oil flowing through Turkey to global markets. Iran sees its neighbor and ally Iraq as vital to keeping its economy afloat amid sanctions. But Baghdad, a partner of both the United States and Iran, is wary of falling into the crosshairs of Trump's policy of pressuring Tehran, the sources said. Trump wants Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani to cut economic and military ties with Iran. Last week, Reuters reported that Iraq's central bank had blocked 5 more private banks from accessing dollars at the request of the U.S. Treasury. Iraq's announcement on resuming exports was hasty and lacked details on how to address technical issues that need to be resolved before flows can restart, 4 of the 8 sources said. Iran wields significant military, political and economic influence in Iraq through its powerful Shiite militias and the political parties it backs in Baghdad. But the increased U.S. pressure comes at a time when Iran has been weakened by Israeli attacks on its regional proxies. With the pipeline carrying crude oil from Kurdistan to the Turkish port of Ceyhan closed since 2023, Kurdish oil smuggling to Iran by truck has flourished. 6 of the 8 sources said the United States is urging Baghdad to curb the flow. Washington is pressuring Baghdad to ensure that crude oil from the region is exported to global markets via Turkey rather than sold cheaply to Iran, said an Iraqi oil official familiar with the crude trucking shipments crossing to Iran. While the closure of the Turkish pipeline has led to a surge in Kurdish oil smuggling through Iran, a larger network that some experts believe generates at least $1 billion a year for Iran and its proxies has flourished in Iraq since al-Sudani took office in